In this video, we're going to go over the different signs that show you may need addiction treatment. But before we get into that, first, I have to tell you why this is so important. Substance abuse is actually one of the leading health issues in the United States. 52,400 people died from drug overdoses in 2015, and that number only increases year after year. Addiction treatment options do continue to improve, and a lot of facilities are actually now accepting insurance. But here at Sandstone, we want to continue to educate and raise awareness upon this subject so more people can get the help that they need. So with all that being said, my name is Emmanuel from Sandstone Care, and here are the 7 signs that you may need addiction treatment. 1. You have a higher tolerance for the substance. Experimenting with drugs is common, and it's actually where most people start. This is where at first you're using small doses and only use a substance or drug occasionally. When you start to use more regularly, however, you begin to notice that you'll need to take a higher dose or use more of this drug frequently to feel the same effect. When your body's tolerance to the drug has increased, this is a standard indicator of substance abuse and addiction. Think about it. If the substance you're currently using isn't doing enough for you, that may lead you to seek out an even more powerful drug. If marijuana, for example, is not doing it, you might try to find an increased dosage of something else. The concern here is an increase in serious health problems, including long-term brain damage or even worse, an overdose. So if you've noticed your tolerance for drugs or alcohol has increased, consider seeking treatment immediately. The sooner it's addressed, the healthier and better off you'll be. 2. Drugs and substance abuse take its toll on your mind and body. In terms of your physical health, different substances have different effects. Alcohol causes damage to the brain, heart, nerves, and muscles. Other drugs may cause severe weight loss and malnourishment. And the drug cocaine can lead to chest pain, constantly feeling like you're having a heart attack, as well as an increase of risk of having seizures. On the other hand, when it comes to your mental health issues often go hand in hand with substance use. Many people who struggle with mental health disorders will turn to substances as a coping mechanism. Using substances to cope with anxiety or depression, for example, normally leads to a downward spiral because these drugs decrease your ability to feel good without them. So if you're struggling with substance use and a mental health disorder, consider finding a treatment option that specializes in both, because you want to make sure that you're able to take care of your physical health and mental health at the same time. The 3rd sign, your withdrawal symptoms make you want to use again. Many substances like alcohol, cocaine, and opioids, like heroin and prescription painkillers, are highly addictive. Over time, your body and brain will crave the substance, and if you do decide to stop, you'll actually start to feel these powerful physical effects once you stop using. These physical effects, when you stop using, are known as withdrawal symptoms. And these can range from headaches produced by caffeine withdrawal all the way to intense pain and vomiting from heroin withdrawal. If you are using, it is natural to try to avoid these uncomfortable and painful symptoms. But withdrawal symptoms can be a clear sign of addiction, and it's best to get support now rather than later. 4. Your performance is suffering. Here, I'm about to ask you a few questions, and if you say yes to any of these questions, then that could mean your substance use has become unhealthy. Here are the questions. Have you started prioritizing drug use over your job responsibilities? Do you find yourself shrugging off or putting off the things that you're supposed to do to get high? Have you stopped doing the sports and hobbies that you used to love and enjoy? And lastly, have you noticed a decrease in your grades by 2 letter grades or more because of your need to use? If you had answered yes to any of these questions, again, that means your substance use has become unhealthy. And I do want to make sure I make this point. Addiction is hard to deal with alone. So that's why here at Sandstone, we always recommend you find great programs and support networks that will help you learn how to live a sober lifestyle. The 5th sign, your important relationships are negatively impacted. If you're starting to notice that your social life begins to revolve more around drugs and people who deal and use them, you have probably started to neglect relationships that matter the most. Or you could be completely on the opposite end, where your substance abuse has led you to becoming more isolated, more alone, and more by yourself. In either case, your important relationships are being negatively impacted. This substance abuse is leading to you spending less time with your family and less time with your long-term friends, which is making it more difficult for them to learn how to support you through your difficult challenges. Worst case is old friends and relatives have pulled back from you because of your actions of using have hurt them too many times. So a solution to this is recovery and seeking a program that also allows for family involvement, so that way you can repair any broken or hurt relationships from using. We're almost there. The sixth sign that you may need addiction treatment is you are being dishonest about your substance use. If you notice that you are lying to your friends and family about how much you're using substances, the truth is, if you're lying about your drug use, you could be slipping into an addiction. Some signs of this is that you start to notice you're lying to yourself, or you're making excuses, or even you're possibly feeling shame and guilt about your substance use. Whatever the case may be, if you're not sharing your truth about your drug use, it may be time to talk with a professional or seek treatment. There is nothing wrong with getting help. And actually, a lot of people have reported having this great feeling of relief when they accept help and are able to take full responsibility for the drug addiction. But overall, to sum this up, if you notice that you aren't being honest about your drug use, please consider seeking treatment or talking with a professional. Now, the last and final sign I have for you is you try to stop on your own, but can't. You may already have made up your mind that you want to start to become sober or greatly cut back on your drug use. If you tried on your own to stop and you were not successful, and then you tried again, and then try to stop again, and then again, honestly, it's time to seek help. I want to make sure I repeat this. There is nothing wrong with getting help. It can be difficult trying to make this huge change happen in your life alone. And in fact, many behavioral studies have shown people who have this struggle are much more likely to succeed when others hold them accountable. So if you're struggling with addiction or substance abuse, look for a good treatment program, because they want to help you make the changes that you want to see in your life and set you up for long-term success. If you made it up to this point of this video, first, I want to say that I do hope that the 7 signs that I shared with you were helpful, but if you're still feeling like you need additional support, resources, or someone to talk to start looking in the right places, don't worry, Sandstone Care is here to help. Here at Sandstone, we offer substance abuse, addiction, and mental health treatment programs for teens and young adults who are going through the struggle. You can actually talk to a Sandstone Care member right now by live chatting them at sandstonecare.com or call them by using the number below. The person you talk to will be a real person, and they will want to get to know you and your situation and see how they can help. If they notice that Sandstone isn't even the right resource, they will still do their best to help point you in the right direction. Dealing with an addiction can be challenging, but you don't have to deal with it alone. There are resources out there that do want to help. All right, if you have any other questions that you'd like Sandstone Care to answer, just make sure to leave them in the comment section down below, and we will make sure to respond to them as soon as possible. I hope this video was a helpful resource for you. Have a good one.